What's going on, YouTube? We got the Jabronis here. It's me, Sully. We got Crayon. We got Crisp in the call right now. We're going to talk about our early impressions of Cod Cold War. It's going to be mostly multiplayer, a little bit of zombies at the end. We just want to get our thoughts out there. It's been a week since it's been released, I think. And, you know, we pretty much have our ideas of where the game's going. So let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about the good of this game, you know, the things they got right. Now, I just want to start it off with, this game's getting a lot of heat, and I want to just remind everyone that Call of Duties at launch have their problems. Like, are we going to talk about Modern Warfare at launch? Yeah. That game was a mess. Yes, you know, this game, there's some little bugs that we'll talk about in the bad, but let me just remind people that Call of Duties at launch are not the greatest things in the world, which is insane because they have unlimited money and the biggest player base, and I don't know why they can't cater to it. But regardless, let's talk about the good things they've done. Crayon, you want to start off with something that you think they did well?
Yeah, I think at its core, right, with what little they've given us, they've actually given us some pretty good, like, core things in the game. I actually think the gunplay feels really nice in this game. People were complaining like the movement is awkward or clunky when compared to Modern Warfare 2019. While maybe it's not as fluid or like as fast paced because the time to kill is slower and stuff, I actually think that's slowing it down. Well, first off, it's different. It's a different COD. You can't expect it to be a carbon copy. They don't want it to be, and people ask for it not to be every year, and then they get annoyed when it is different. So I actually think the slowed down mechanics, the longer time to kill gives players more time to turn on people, to react. It actually rewards headshots a lot more in this COD, I feel like. And I feel like there's a lot more like gun balance as well, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Chris, what are your some thoughts on what they've done well in this game?
What they've done well is, I mean, it's a good and a bad, right? They went back to the basics. They didn't really experiment too much. I think that's a good thing and a bad thing. It just feels good. Like,
it does have an arcadey feel for sure compared to like Modern Warfare. Like, yeah, having 4 utility, like, that's crazy. 2 grenades, two stuns out the gate. Level 1, you have that wild card. That's kind of crazy. Like, when's the last time you spawned with 2 grenades and like 2 flashes in Call of Duty? That was a long time ago. That's pretty wild.
Shit. What people don't understand, like, Black Ops is, you know, you just mentioned that it's a little bit arcadey. That's Black Ops in a nutshell. I mean, they are arcadey. They are, you know, a little cartoonish. The graphics, the colors. And, you know, Modern Warfare goes for the hyper-realistic, and, you know, so people are saying, oh, the graphics are a step back. It's not necessarily a step back, it's a different style of game.
Not at all.
It's, I mean, it's, if you don't like that, I understand if you prefer one over the other, but you can't say that it's a step back because they're going in a different direction. It's not necessarily they were trying to improve on the graphics, it's a different art style. So I personally don't have a problem with it. I'll talk about a little bit about the gunplay. I like the guns. I think a lot of them are very viable. There are a couple that are definitely better. Let's talk about the MP5, the AUG, M16. Those guns are really, you know, better than everything else. But at the same time, you can run the XM4, you can run the Krig 6, you can the AK-74U, you can use the snipers, you can use the shotguns.
I think Treyarch has been quick to tune these things as well. I mean, like, less than a week the game's been out, and the MP5 received a range nerf. They've already shown, you know, I think a patch actually went out today, like, literally my game updated. Yeah, and whatever you sent, Sully, I mean, maybe those things are live right now, but the M16's range got nerfed, the AUG's range got nerfed. The Type 63 got buffed, other shit. I mean, they seem pretty damn apt to make quick adjustments on the fly, which is a very good sign. But also, it's kind of like, wow, like, they're able to do this in 6 days. Like, I mean, did they not play test? How did these things slip through the crack? I guess you need a lot of people playing to get accurate assessments of where guns are at. But to me, it's like, there's no way they were playing and going, yeah, the MP5, like, this works. Like, let's launch with this.
Goes on, like, it just, everything gets more balanced. I don't see that as a big issue as people are like crying about on like TikTok, but I think everything will be balanced, like, as we keep going.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying that gun balance is a major problem in this game, let's not forget that there was a shotgun in Modern Warfare where you could
in a whole year.
You could snipe people. I mean, yeah, but Crayon joined late, and he loves a 725. He's a 725 fanboy. But he, like, you should have seen this thing at launch. Like, it's a sniper when you were using it, but, like, it was an actual sniper. Like, it had, like, unlimited range when it was first launched.
Yeah, and here's my thing with that. Like when a gun's that OP, I'm just gonna abuse it into the ground because like that's sort of like, if they're not willing to change it, then why should I stop using it is kind of my mentality. Like if it exists, players are going to exploit it no matter what. That's the thing with the MP5 in this game is if they didn't change it, people will continue to use it. They will only use it even if it ruins the fun. People don't value fun as the top priority in COD. They just value like beating your opponent. That is everybody's favorite thing to do in the game. So if the MP5 is the #1 choice clearly, then people will only use that gun even if it's not as fun of an experience. That's just a sad fact.
But so we talked a little bit about the good. Let's move on to the bad, and we discussed, you know, we definitely went over a couple of things in the good, because obviously there's some things that, like the guns, they are in the good section, but there's also a little bit that goes into the bad. And I think I pretty much Crayon mentioned it, or he you know, alluded to it. There's not many guns. There's limited options compared to other Call of Duties in the past, and that goes for the same with maps and you know, other things.
Just an overall lack of content. It has a very beta-like feel. This game, more than any COD I've ever played, this game loading it up feels like I'm playing in like a demo of like the actual game. Like no other, and like yeah, like obviously that's games in 2020. I know that argument's gonna be made, but here's the thing: like, does that justify the fact that like when I boot this game up, even Modern Warfare 2019 a year ago, at launch, felt like a more complete game than this game, especially multiplayer. When you take into account the campaign, the zombies, maybe you can make an argument that it's worth $60 out the gate. But if you're looking at just multiplayer COD, which is what 99% of people get the game for, even with zombies, it's really just not justified at all. It's kind of fucked up. And, you know, maybe Nuketown's coming out, but, like, it's crazy to me that, like, 8 maps? Like, that's absurd.
Yeah, and there were 6 in the beta, so they only added 2 maps to the game.
Cran, it's funny you say that because I feel the same way. I feel like I'm playing a beta. I don't think it's the gameplay. For me, it's something about the graphics where it just doesn't seem polished. Like there's something weird. It just looks like granular. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like it feels like I'm playing beta and they just haven't finished.
But yeah, so talking about content, I mean, obviously Crayon just said it's games in 2020. The thing is, Modern Warfare, they launched with 16 maps, or I think it was 16, and yes, 14 of them were some of the worst Call of Duty maps I've ever played in this game's history. And, you know, Cold War only launched with 8 maps, and I think, you know, 6 to 7 of them are pretty solid. So can you make the argument that, you know, 6 to 7 solid maps are better than 16 horrible maps? It's close. I mean, I don't like... Every time I load into a game, I'm choosing between the same maps that I just played the 2 games prior. Like, I feel like that's... And I've been playing this game for, like, 4 days. So I feel like I shouldn't already be feeling like that, but I am. So
I feel like where I'm at in, like, 2-3 months with any other COD.
Yeah.
I feel like I've played the COD for a long time because there's so little content. Like, I feel like I've already uncovered everything, which is matters a lot.
I do want to say this, though. Some rumors going around. I'm sure you guys haven't heard this, and I know this is probably your favorite map in one of your favorite maps in Call of Duty history, both of you. Could be returning very, very soon.
Cruise ship.
Yes, hijacked summit and firing range could be coming. That's what I've been hearing. Little birdies have been telling me that. Little birdies are crazy, bro.
Right, so hijacked is the snap. Summit, that's the ski map.
Yeah, it's snow. Yeah.
Not bad.
Those are the 3 maps that Treyarch, every single Black Ops release, they always bring them back. They just can't make good maps.
I mean, yeah, and I got no problem with them bringing maps, but like you said, they can't make new maps anymore.
Yeah.
Like you could bring me old maps, but give me something new also. Because at that point, just launch with the old maps, right? Like, you already have the maps. Like, just launch with them if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we actually talked about maps a lot on stream the other day. You should check us out on stream at twitch.tv/JaBroneRJabrone. The link is going to be in the bio and on the screen right now. Check us out. We talk about maps a lot on there, and I feel like it's sad to admit that we would rather than just release re-released maps that are just polished. and like updated graphically than them attempt to make new maps, because all the maps that they've made brand new from scratch in this COD have generally been way lower standard than at least what we're used to. Maybe some of that is clouded in nostalgia, but I do generally believe, especially with how few there are, that the quality has gone down. If you're gonna give us this few maps, they better be fucking well tested and like really polished and good maps. Let's talk about the bugs. We've talked about the maps a lot as far as the bad goes, which there's plenty to be said about that. But I mean, me and Sully have played quite a bit at this point. Crisp has definitely put his share in, but me and Sully have been pretty no life since release, and it's
Yeah, I don't know what a shower is.
That the game is filled with these little bugs that I guess reiterates how beta the game kind of feels. I mean, game chat just flat out doesn't work in COD in 2020.
Yeah, we're taking steps backwards here.
And game chat's like
game
search,
exactly.
Like,
you want to talk trash to the enemy team, you want to meet guys on your team, you pretty much can't do it. Another bug is you don't really know your actual level because it just says you're like 20 levels lower than you actually are after you prestige. It's absurd. When you're in search and destroy, the score flips. So if you if you
can't tell the score,
if you have above like 50 IQ, you can understand that the scores flip. But like, why am I playing a Call of Duty game in 2020 where the score's flipping? Like, just give me the right score. It's just little things about this game that like it doesn't.
There's so many.
Yes, it doesn't ruin the game. It's not like making the experience much worse. It is making it a little worse, and it's just so many little things that are building up, and it's like, all right, this is kind of getting ridiculous at this point, even if they are mostly little.
That's another thing. The character customization is so... I mean, look at Black Ops 1 for a moment, okay? Just remember, Black Ops 1, you had these credits, which the credit system was elite. We talk about it a lot, how much we liked it back then, being able to buy attachments, perks, all that shit. Anyways, you could also buy individual parts. You could buy face paint, you could buy, like, I don't know, a bandana on your character. You could buy cosmetics for your character.
Made me a gambling addict. You know?
Yeah, like we're going backwards.
Yeah,
definitely got me into gambling.
Yeah, it's now there's like a couple operator choices. It's just like, it's really hard to justify to a Modern Warfare 2019 player to get this game. And you see that in everywhere. I mean, everybody's talking about how questionable this release is and why they would want to downgrade from Modern Warfare to this.
Last thing I will say, we forgot to talk about this in the bad and the ugly, and this is honestly below ugly. I've never seen a Call of Duty that takes so long to level up your guns. If you guys watch the streams, you know I pretty much only use the AUG for the past 3 or 4 streams, and I mean I'm averaging 40 to 60 kills per game. We've probably played 35 games. I'm not maxed with this gun yet. I've never seen anything like this before. Like, you pretty much, like, this isn't a brag or anything, but you pretty much like can't be doing more than I'm doing with this gun, yet it's not ranked up yet. So I don't understand all these people that have all their gold guns. That's another story. Maybe we're just not understanding what's going on and we're doing it the wrong way. But I've seen also a lot of people talk about how the leveling up is absolutely ridiculous. I think all those guys have double XP or whatever. I shouldn't be able to. I shouldn't.
Buy more Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to buy Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos to play COD in 2020. Like, let me purchase the game that's also not even complete and then go buy a bag of Doritos. Yeah, but with that being said, I think we can move into zombies as our last discussion. Keep it short, but what are everyone's thoughts on zombie? Let's go Crisp, because Crisp is the zombie specialist.
I'm a big zombie guy, and all right, let me get this straight. Black Ops 4 sucked. Like, the zombies was terrible. They try to change it up, make it too complicated. Here they're going back to the basics a little bit. Like, there's nothing too crazy, but they're also adding like basic features like armor and stuff. But they're not adding like funky like goddesses that are perks and you get to choose your perks in the loading screen. It just makes no sense. Like, it's basic. The guns feel good. It feels good to kill zombies. So I think it's good, and I think the new map is fire too. I just think they set up a basic map to begin with, and then we'll get some really good maps going forward. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same thinking of what I do with multiplayer. Like, the groundwork for the game feels pretty good. I'm happy with what they've done. Definitely, like, I agree with Chris, but was not a Black Ops fan for at all in terms of zombies. And this one definitely feels better. I'm not going to tell you that it's Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3. It doesn't feel that good, and there are some things that they've added, like spawning in with an M16 and getting a chopper gunner that is just not really zombies for me. But I don't think it ruins the game at all. But I will say that this first map they've released is severely underwhelming. Half of the map is, you know, the first Call of Duty map ever, which is cool, nostalgia, blah, blah, blah. But, like, it's half the map. And, you know, I think that in years past, they are pretty reserved in their first maps, and they kind of blow you out of the water with the DLC, which, you know, that's what Call of Duty does. They, you know, it's the same thing with multiplayer. They don't really give you that much. They get you hooked a little bit, and then they get you to spend the money later. Although it is going to be free maps, so is that going to increase, you know, decrease the quality of their maps because they're
That's
free?
That's a really good point.
Or,
that's something I thought about too.
Who really?
Even getting pack in the new zombies is they literally spell it out for you and what you have.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
They literally go, do this, grab this, you have pack.
They make it seem,
and then you go to the pack machine, and you're in a menu,
yeah.
and you click a button, and then it's just in your hands. You don't craft the weapon. You don't see a crazy fucking thing created in front of you, and you're just sitting there with your hands, with your palms out while zombies are trying to gnaw on your neck. Like, that used to be like anxiety at its peak right there. As for this COD zombies, and in my opinion, my early thoughts, similar to Sully, I kind of disagree with Crisp in the sense that I don't think it's going back to the basics, but I also don't think it's as bad as Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 Zombies was by far the worst zombies. It was fucking horrible. I played less of it than I did this, and I've only played 2 games of this, so just do the math there. Yeah, I think that spawning with a loadout is a very modern take on zombies. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I blink and I'm on round 5. I blink again, I'm on round 10, and I blink again, I'm on round 20.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty easy.
I don't feel a passage like of time in this zombies. I don't feel like growth in my power. I just feel like time is going by. The fact you can survive zombies really, to me, changes your whole dynamic and how you think about it. It's not about like min-maxing, thinking of the best ways to survive. What's the best corner, the circle I can do to survive? What's a good place to camp? It's just become like, oh, there's a chopper ready. Let's click this button and let's get out of here so we can get some XP. It's not about the experience anymore.
Yeah, well, those are our thoughts. Anyone else have any ending thoughts to say about Cold War?
Well, I will say this. My parting thoughts on it is, all that being said, it sounds like I trashed the whole fucking thing, but I actually am having a blast. I haven't had this much fun with a COD in a while. On stream, we've been having a ball, and I will say that I am actually pretty hopeful for the future of the game's multiplayer. I do really like the guns. I like the feel of the game. I actually like the aesthetic a lot. I didn't really get to talk about that too much. I actually think there's a lot of hope for this game. I think in 6 months, it will feel complete. It will feel like a good COD and a worthy successor to Modern Warfare. But for now, we're kind of in this limbo where they rushed it out, clearly.
All right, well, with that, that's going to end the video. Leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future content. But with that, the Jabronis are out. You'll see us with the next video.
Peace out, Broner Nation.